So just like on the Track M3 build I did a couple weeks ago, I need to do the same modifications on this streetcar version of this build. So I needed to cut off the side skirts that came standard with the kit and replace them for the ones from USCP that are of course the M3 styling. The difference with this build, however, is that I'm going to be detailing the engine bay as well, and for that I need to cut out the hood. Now I carefully traced out all of the panel lines first to make them a bit deeper and more pronounced, and then later on started removing the main bulk of the hood itself in order for it to be replaced with the hood that came with the USCP body kit. With the rough work now done, I need to refine all the edges, carefully start sanding them down to all of the panel lines and removing that main bulk of the hood that is still left on the sides and of course on the front around the grille and the headlight pieces as well. With that now all done and out of the way, I could move on to gluing the body kit pieces on, just simply using some super glue and pressing them in place. The hood still needed a bit more alignment and I needed to fill up some of the sides in order to make it fit in there perfectly. So one of the edges was a bit too wide and I needed to fill that up a bit more. So I just used some super glue, added some styrene strips, and then removed the excess until it all fit together nicely. All of the new body parts are now fitted. The hood is also fit and shaped correctly with that new piece on the side, and then all the panel lines could be scribed out to make them a bit deeper. Then I could move on to sanding the entire body down in order for the primer to stick to it and also remove some of the uneven spots. The dust was removed from the body. I put it onto a Tamiya spray stand, then started on the hard to reach, easy to forget spots first, and of course moving on to the rest of the body in that same coat. The red plastic is still pretty stubborn and showing through the primer, so after about 5 minutes of letting that first coat dry, I moved on to the second coat and kept applying coats with 5 minutes in between until all that red plastic was gone and it was a nice even gray coat of primer. final coat of primer was applied, all the red plastic didn't show through anymore, so I could move on to removing some of the dust that landed in the paint while I was applying it, and then moved on to applying the color. I chose for a BMW special color that was available on these E36s, as I really think it looks cool. The color is Techno Violet. It's a bit of a purple color, not too bright, a bit of a duller color in the dark, but once the sun hits it, it's a real vibrant, nice metallic purple. As you can see from this first coat, the color is covering nicely, but it is a bit on the thin side. So I'm being careful not applying too thick of a coat, making it too wet, and thereby just pulling all the red plastic through again, and just keeping the coats nice and light. After the second coat, you can already start to see that it's covering nicely. A third coat should do the trick, but just to be sure, I wanted to add a fourth coat in order for it all to be covered and make absolutely certain that I didn't miss any spots. With the fourth and final coat of color now on, it's nice and even all over the place and has a good sheen to it. So with that said and done, I applied a small BMW logo on the trunk and also on the hood before applying the clear coat. A nice first coat is applied, so 5 minutes of dry time in between before applying the second and final coat of clear.